Lord Lilly Love Toast by Joolz. Read by Joolz. The end is this first story. Part 1. The enchanted castle was a speck in my brain that I hadn't ruined by recklessness, fear, or rejection. It was an ivory tower as big as 2 hillsides put together, and white as a unicorn's heart and black as a panther's glossy black coat. This was a mock ivory tower bound together by white painted ivy and sprinkled with fake snow effect snow and glitter, which in the sunlight looked as naff as it sounds. Described, but in my mind's eye, in the clouds of my mind where this place is real, the palace of Princess Thunder is real. It is a white tower, and it lives in a kingdom of clouds, and it is held together by the enchantress's spell never to sell, never to tell, and never to yell. And it so obviously rhymes, we'll call it hell. I mean spell. Princess Thunder was named after her godmother, Rapunzel. She had inherited her castle after Rapunzel got too old to get up all the stairs and was admitted to accident and emergency after choking on a pea, and never heard of again in the land of fairy tales and rhymes. Lady Thunder was very different from the petite, gentle Rapunzel. Thunder was boisterous, bossy, and too much of a self-made handful for anyone to get a clasp on. The ADAH was never diagnosed, but her contentment came from knowing the clouds were always there and she could. The ADAH, it might be ADHA, but it's attention deficit something disorder, so it's, it's sort of on the learning spectrum. So the ADAH was never diagnosed, but her contentment came from knowing the clouds were always there and she could. She had lived in her tower, boxed off from the world, and boxed away from anyone for over a century now. She had a cat, Baggins, for company, and the crackle of a warm fire in the winter which sent chimney smoke dramatically up the centre of the tower to the delight of the very rare tourist. This was how she made her revenue. She would have a wig sit in the window and imitate her godmother Rapunzel, spinning her weave. She was incredibly bored with this and frustrated in every field of endeavour. She wasn't quite sure what would put this right. It got so boring that she could hardly keep her eyes open. Then Lady Plentiful came along. You know the sort. The end, part 2. The ivory tower was fading, partly because no one believed in fairy tales, dreams, or you anymore. Believe in you yourself. This almost exhumed the breath of the reader as she read her own grave died of lack of trying. Dying came, the waiting game was over. What seemed lifetimes away was finally undone. Well, at last one prayer was answered, and even that Dr. Death would be a disappointment as she realised cloning to negativity was an excuse, was an escape, and was okay. The life had run out of love and run out of strength to keep the eyelids open. It's the fairy tale tower we should have demolished the day anyone suggested, hinted, or reread the fairies weren't dead. They don't voice in mushrooms. Just turning the page. They don't believe in you. They ate all the sugar. And they don't rhyme with blue. She couldn't hold her eyes open long enough to hold the page open. The ivory tower was crumbling in the distance as the jigsaw crashed to pieces, as her hopes ran out and left the tears going stale on the very mat that she would return once more and swallow herself up in red and cling to hope it isn't yet dead. He buried the tunnel and bashed the seams of your love away, and then said goodbye and see you next shift on the pillow between midnight fears and midnight. Struck gold. Who thought the box set would get too old to sit in the sun and watch the cricket, or bury my toes frozen in yesterday's river picnic where the river lapped me up and my hot water ran free and the triangle of infidelity escaped with the oncoming monsoon which interrupts your ears and eavesdrops, welcomes lovers' ears, and clearing the space on the clouds in heaven. Where this tower did you belong? Did the blighter knock it down, or has strength renewed the veins that hold your eyes and set sight its reins? The end, part 3. Thunderstorms, rattles and roars past 3 doors and sets us afloat. The clouds part and the dim distant hope returns through the moat of time gone by, and all the yesterdays beckoning, the love that help her strong, the reckoning, the vulnerability she held in her hands all those years, the love, concern and mending melting into one big enveloping. It's the death in us all by giving a blank spot. Get back to the tower or night help us lot. So it's overhead, it's in your head, it's in the cloud that sail New York, it's in the cloud that sails NY. In the luxury moment to picture the treasure tower within your soul, which lurks and wrestles with you from time to begin. The tower stands strong as the day you gave birth, strong as the creation force that gives me a constant headache. It's the day you decided to build on what you got, brick by brick, not sell the job lot. Let's go again, and Princess Thunder is waiting for you too. It's the cousins who just know and love you, whoever you are, continue to love you. They know who you are, even if you forgot yourself. She pogoed over the moat and grabbed you by the arm, gave you a shot of the bear hug grin and gets you inside and warms your heart because that girl loves you with all her heart. But Miss Ivory Tower inside is tired, and with so many head injuries, she got permanent concussion. She hits the floor so many times it's mapped her sat-nav and etches her decay. It's frog marched her off, it's somersaulted her mouldy bananas and sets off her visual display. It's her as it is, solid, it's not sure what it ain't got, but retail therapy really does hit some spots. It's tiredness that doesn't go away. Seat or marches over you as soon as you wake, which makes you lazy and unable to track yourself down because you forgot who you are. You forgot you, a star. You forgot yourself down. It has dragged me down and I don't know how to cage it. The Ivory's elephants didn't get killed in this story. Okay, I'll pause it there. The next one will be the end, part 4.